Oh, it's you. Sam told me you'd be swinging by.
Hi, Corey, was it?
No, it's Officer Palmer.
So Durkin told me to speak to you?
Yes, I heard. Congratulations, I guess. I don't know why you're so special, but orders are orders. You need any information from us, I'll see about getting it to you. But you talk to me, and only me. Understand?
Perfectly. I'm sorry about Leah.
Don't even go there. I don't care what you saw, or what the evidence says. Leah wouldn't kill herself. And if she did, then she wasn't Leah anymore.
So are we good?
Good?
You don't think I still killed anyone, do you?
I don't know what to believe. But Durkin vouches for you, and he now owes me a favor, a big one. So, I guess I come out ahead.
Is Detective Durkin around?
I haven't seen him since yesterday. I'm sure he's wandering around somewhere.
You seem to be taking Leah's death rather personally.
The chief would agree with you. That's why I'm shackled behind this desk instead of out there doing something.
So, what's the latest on George Austin?
He was killed with a .22 caliber bullet. That's all we know so far. We're still talking to Leah's ex-husband, but he's got a pretty solid alibi.
How did Kendra die? Was that ever established?
I read the autopsy report. It was definitely a bullet wound. It went right through her shoulder. Clean hole all the way through. The coroner said that she bled to death, but could have survived if she was brought to a hospital right away. I don't understand this. Not at all.
Did you know Emil Haskins at all?
I don't know much. Just what Leah used to tell me. I got the impression he was a deadbeat. Always out of a job, always late with child support payments, things like that. Guess he doesn't have to worry about that stuff anymore.
So what's the story with you and Leah? I get the impression you knew her pretty well.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I partnered with her back when I first joined the force. She taught me a lot. Everything, really. I owe her. She was a rock. She was a rising star. Why would she flip out like she did?
I'm working on it, Corey. I really am.
That's Officer Palmer, and I'm not holding my breath.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Leah?
Officer Piero was juggling a demanding job, a growing daughter, and a deadbeat ex-husband. There was immense pressure on her, but I still don't buy that she would do what she did.
George and Leah both were members of a self-help group. They called it the Grace Group.
Oh yeah, Leah told me about that place.
She did?
Yeah, she didn't go into detail, but I know it meant a lot to her. She used to tell me that nobody could ever fall so far that they couldn't still reach for a helping hand. I'm not sure what that meant, but she used to say it all the time.
Do you know anyone named Michael?
You're gonna have to be more specific than that.
Does this phone number mean anything to you?
Not really, but I can trace it for you.
Trace it?
Run the number, see who it belongs to. Within reason, anyway. Where'd you find it?
I found it on George Austin's phone.
Oh, we ran that number already.
You did?
Yeah. It belonged to Grace Church. Probably calling for donations or something.
Yeah, or something.
Thanks anyway. Do you know if any of George Austin's neighbors died recently?
It's not in any of the reports. Do you have a name?
No, not yet. But she lived across from George. Can't you look it up that way?
I can't, now. The way the system works, I can only look it up by the victim's name, not address. Sorry.
Well, I'd better go. Thanks for the help.
Sure.
Whoever drives this thing is gonna need a shovel to get anywhere.
It's just a police car. There's nobody inside.
If the people who go to these churches worry about their souls so much, they should try dying sometime.
Hi, remember me?
Yes, and would you please keep your voice down?
Sorry. I'm looking for information on the Grace Group.
Grace Group?
They used to meet here, in the basement. Some kind of self-help group?
There are hundreds of so-called Grace Groups, and they all have meetings in the basement. You will have to be a bit more specific than that.
Do you know any Michaels?
In my line of work, I know more than I can count.
I checked with the police. This number belongs to a phone in this church. A man I'm looking for made a phone call from this number. His name is Michael. It's very important that I find him.
I'm afraid I don't know who you're talking about. I am sorry.
So there's this woman that might have died in a penthouse apartment.
I'm afraid I don't know who you're talking about. I am sorry.
The telephone that uses this number, where is it?
Why would you need to know that?
Michael used the phone. Maybe he left a clue behind when he did.
And he could have used any one of a dozen offices in our administration wing.
Really? Over a dozen?
Yes. So, if you want to locate Michael Cooper, you'll have to find another way.
Wait, Cooper?
Pardon?
You said Michael Cooper.
Isn't that the gentleman you're looking for?
No, I just said his name was Michael.
So you did. Slip of the tongue. My apologies. It is quite late and I'm tired.
You need to tell me who Michael Cooper is.
I told you I don't know any Michael Cooper.
You need to tell me who Michael Cooper is.
I told you I don't know any Michael Cooper.
That tactic ain't working, sweetheart. You need to come at this some other way.
So you don't know anyone named Michael Cooper?
No, I don't.
Well, thanks. I'll be going.
Stay safe.
Huh. So Michael Cooper was a priest. Interesting. If the phone is nearby, it's not ringing. Excuse me.
Yes.
Michael Cooper. He's a priest too, isn't he?
So?
So, it's a pretty big coincidence, wouldn't you say? Do you really want the police involved with this?
You're not a police officer.
No, but I can bring them in.
You have no right. They'd never do it.
Maybe I don't, but I can try. Either way, they will be looking at this church. And at you.
I made a promise. He came to me scared, begging me to protect him, to give him sanctuary. He was ranting. I should have turned him away, but we roomed together at the seminary. We were close friends once. What could I do?
You can take me to him.
He's raving. He's mad. He says he's in a battle for his very soul. Is this true?
Yes. Yes, it is.
He's in the school. It's closed for the winter break, so it seemed like a good a place as any to hide him. Here's a key. The entrance is around the corner. Please, do whatever you must. Just don't come back here.
Don't worry.
So, thrown out of a church. I suppose with our record, it was only a matter of time.
The entrance to the school is around the block. Let's go. Lafayette Street looks cold and icy. Better stick to the sidewalk. No need to pay attention to that. There aren't any cars out tonight.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
I think
The
he's
Lord is
reciting
my
the Psalm
shepherd,
of
I shall
David.
not want.
From the books I've read,
He
it's
makes me
supposed to
lie
guard
down
against
in green
evil.
pastures.
Michael? Michael Cooper.
You! Stay back, bestower. I've got a gun.
Just a second.
I said stay back!
I need to talk to you.
Talk? Did talking help Leah or George or any of the others?
Please, I'm here to help.
Help? Oh, I wish that was true. How much help did you give George or Leah or the others?
Others? How many of you are there?
You don't even know that. You don't know a thing, do you? This wasn't the plan.
Plan?
Yes, our brilliant plan. We get the bestower to escort our souls to the next world, protect us from this force that is after us. Instead, you let us be destroyed.
You think I wanted this to happen? People dying, souls torn apart? You think I want this?
Of course not. It's just, well, look at what we've been reduced to.
I'm sorry. Whatever is going on, it's new. I've never seen anything like it before.
I see. And what about him?
Huh?
Your friend, the man behind you. He hasn't said a word since you walked in here.
Me? Do you mean me?
Yes, you. Don't look so surprised. How else could I have known who you were? Now get out of here. You've been nothing but trouble ever since George went to look for you.
You really don't want to do this.
I believe she is right, my host.
That voice, it can't be.
I told you to stay in the other room.
Yes, my host, I know. But I had to intervene. These two know me. If I may...
Fine. Just make it quick. I'm losing concentration.
Malone, Blackwell, what a pleasant surprise to see you both again.
Yeah, surprise is the word. What the hell are you doing here?
Is it not obvious? You freed me, Malone, brought me back into this world, and as befits all of our kind, I had a host waiting for me, and so I have returned to my former duties.
Look, as much as I am touched by this reunion, I need to focus.
Perhaps we should all converse outside.
Fine, outside. Just leave me in peace.
Thank you, my host.
You're a bestower too?
What gave it away? The spirit guide who won't leave me alone? Look, maintaining this circle leaves me a bit cranky. Sorry. If you can help, great. If not, well, I've made my peace with it. Just go talk to her. She's outside. I need to concentrate. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And though I walk through the valley of the
Blackwell, Malone, it's been a long time since we've been able to converse.
It's been almost 6 months since Joey freed you. How come we're only seeing you now?
I admit the transition hasn't been pleasant. I have had 3 hosts since returning to this world. The first was an old man on the edge of death. He lingered for 6 weeks before finally succumbing to the inevitable. When the old man passed, I became bound to his niece for a time. She ran every time she saw me. I tried to keep my distance, give her time to adjust, but in the end, she fell down the stairs in an attempt to flee. The poor woman died, and I was passed to her brother, the man inside.
Do you know what's going on? Why are these souls being attacked?
I do not know. I wish I did. Like you, we saw it happen. We saw a soul being torn apart and could do nothing. I'm afraid my host became a little unreasonable after that.
Why was George looking for me?
We needed a bestower. A proper bestower. My host and I were not up to the task.
Eh?
It might be due to my time in the void. It might be because my host's soul has been marked by whatever is out there. But in any case, our abilities are limited. We cannot even help lost souls move on as you do. We can see them and talk to them, but that is all. Hence why we needed you.
Lucky us.
So what can we do? We don't even know what's going on.
Our theory was that you could help move these poor souls into the next world before they were destroyed. But it appears that it did not achieve the desired result.
You could say that, yeah.
You must investigate. My host and I are restricted, but you two are not. If anyone can help uncover why these poor spirits are being attacked and stop it, it is you.
You should really call me Rosangela.
Forgive me. When you are as old as I am, all the names blur together. So I tend to address those I speak to by their family name. It is just easier that way, and less painful. I'm afraid it is a habit that is difficult to break.
So how'd you like being on the outside, as it were? I imagine it's better than being trapped wherever you were.
I had hoped, that I would pass on, that being brought back to the mortal world would force me to obey mortal laws. Instead, No, it is not to be. I have returned to my former duties, therefore I must have further work to do. But yes, it is nicer than being trapped in the void. Did I ever thank you, Malone?
Not as such, no.
Well, I must rectify that. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Anytime.
Do you know anything about this Grace group?
I know that it meant a great deal to my host, as well as his friends. Whatever happened at those meetings, it greatly improved their lives. But obviously, it came at a cost.
What can you tell me about Father Michael?
Cooper is my host. We have not had the time to get to know each other better.
Is he always this ornery?
Do have some pity for him. He has lost his uncle, his sister, and several of his friends. He has been forced to accept the spirit world and the possible loss of his own soul, all within the span of a few weeks. If anyone deserves some understanding, it is he.
There's a ghost haunting the empty apartment across from George Austin.
I see. Well, you know your duty. Go and save it.
Why do you let Father Michael push you around like that?
It is what my host wishes.
So?
Simply that. I must do what my host commands.
Right, seriously. What's the story?
No story, Malone. If my host wishes me to leave him alone, I leave him alone.
That actually works?
Of course. It is my duty to do so.
So, Joey, could...
No.
Of course, some of us take our duties more seriously than others.
Well, I suppose we'll talk to you soon.
Of course.
Father Michael?
Yeah?
I can't believe there's another medium in New York.
Medium?
Sorry, I mean bestower. I've been calling myself medium for so long I sometimes forget.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's not like I have anyone to talk to about this stuff. Nobody living, anyway.
Hey, look, I'd love to swap ghost stories with you, but it takes all my concentration to maintain the circle.
Right, sorry. Maybe we'll have coffee later? You know, after we save your soul and everything.
Sure, sounds great.
What is this circle?
Oh, this. Madeline taught me how to do it. It prevents anything spiritual from getting to me. It takes some concentration to maintain, so I'm sorry if I seem a bit inhospitable.
How did you learn what was happening?
You mean that our souls were being taken?
Yeah.
It was a few weeks ago. I was at the bedside of a friend. Jeffrey, his name was. He went to the Grace Group meetings back in the day. Like me. He had been in a car accident. Hit and run. He was dying, and he wanted me there. And when he died, I saw it. His spirit being torn apart. He screamed. I'll never forget that scream.
I know. I saw it too.
Anyway, with Madeline's help, I began looking into other members of the group and learned it was happening to all of us. You know the rest.
So you're working with Madeline?
Working? I guess you could call it that. I've been too busy being scared to give it any serious thought.
So why'd you send Madeline outside?
Her presence disturbs my concentration, so she's keeping as far away as she can until this is resolved.
What about us?
You're the ones who are going to save my hide. For you, I'll make the extra effort to focus.
Could you tell me about the Grace Group? It was some kind of self-help group?
About 20 years ago, I was a very different person. I suppose you could call me an alcoholic, although I wouldn't have said it at the time. Then I saw an ad in the newspaper. It promised to help folks like me find their way. It seemed to be some kind of hippie self-help group, but I went to a meeting anyway. I don't remember much about the meetings, but somehow I had discovered that going to seminary school was something I had to do. It all made sense.
Made sense.
I just knew it was what I was meant to be doing, and I was right.
What about yourself? Is there anything we should know?
Look, you're not exactly catching me at my best here. I can't do anything. I'm not a true bestower like you are. Madeline says she's been weakened, or I've been weakened, or something. She doesn't know. Believe me, if I could do what you can do, I'd be out there trying to stop this. But I can't. So all I can do is hide.
Did you know that there's a ghost across the roof from George's apartment?
Really?
Do you know anything about it?
Sadly, no. I'm sorry.
Is there anything else you could tell us about the Grace Group?
No. You know everything I do.
What happened at these meetings?
That's just it. I don't remember. Until recently, I never questioned it before. How messed up is that? I'd go, I'd sit down and leave. I'd meet with the other members for coffee afterward. What on earth did we talk about? We must have found something. But I do remember a man. Benjiro. He ran the meetings.
Benjiro?
Yeah, Japanese guy. I don't remember anything else about him.
How many people went to these meetings?
There were 6 of us. You already know about Leah and George and myself. The others are dead.
Who were they?
Does it matter? They are dead. Their souls were taken.
Even still, tell me.
Jeffrey Dutta, Heather Goffstein, Peter Fielding.
So the man who ran the Grace Group meetings was named Benjiro?
Yeah, Japanese guy. I don't remember anything else about him.
Could you tell me about Jeffrey?
God, Jeffrey Dutta. Talk about transfiguration. When he walked into that Grace Group meeting, I thought he was in the wrong place. I mean, the guy was a Wall Street broker for crying out loud. He could have bought the church and everything in it. But he later confessed that he tried to kill himself. Twice.
So what happened to him?
He became a professional dog walker. Can you believe it? He used to pocket millions a year plus bonuses. Then he was picking up dog crap for $25 an hour and smiling about it. He was hit by a car crossing the street. A hit and run. I was at his bedside when he died. Madeline had been around for about a month at that point, so I saw his spirit rise from his body. I thought I was supposed to help him, but instead You know what happened next.
Could you tell me about Peter?
Peter Fielding, yes. I never had much contact with him. He died several months ago. I'm afraid it's too late for him.
You saw his soul being taken?
Well, no. He died before Madeline came into my life, so I can't say for sure. But he went to Grace Group meetings, and he's dead. What other conclusion can I reach?
Tell me about Heather Goffstein. You said she was a member of your group.
Yes, she was one of us. I asked George if he knew where she was. He told me she was dead. I'm afraid it's too late for her.
Is this like Peter? Did you actually see her soul being taken?
No, I didn't. Thank heaven I didn't. Seeing it happen once is more than I can take.
How exactly did Peter Fielding die?
Why? Are you going to try and find his spirit? There is no spirit. It's gone.
You said it yourself. You don't know for sure.
It was some kind of accident. I'm not sure of the details. I read about his death in the obituaries. Too late for his funeral, sadly, but I said a prayer for him.
How did Heather Goffstein die?
I'm afraid I don't know. George was the one who kept in touch with her. He told me she died, but he didn't tell me how or when. I suppose it doesn't matter anymore.
All right, Michael. We're going to go.
Of course. Godspeed to the both of you. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters.
So Peter Fielding owned a gym in Murray Hill. Worth a visit, I suppose. Looks nice and warm in there. Of course, so would an ice factory right now. It seems to open with a key card. It says members only.
Looks like some kind of headshot photo. Probably someone famous who uses the gym. Let's see here. Tanya Corsi. Hey, wait a second. Is that... Yeah, that's the spook from George's roof. A calendar with a marker pen attached. It's a number on the calendar. I can't do anything with it. Looks like that picture frame fell off the wall. I can't touch the thing. Run, run, run like a hamster on a wheel. She's sweating so much she didn't even notice. The men's locker room. Glad I can't smell anymore. Probably nobody in there with my luck. Hey, anyone in here? Anyone? Please? Well, that was disappointing. The TV showing some energetic broad in yoga pants. Nobody here.
Hey, does it look right? Seriously, does it look right?
Does what look right?
The light bulb. I could swear it was blinking.
It looks fine to me.
Huh. Gotta do everything myself around here.
Looks to be in his 50s? It's hard to say. He's got the hair of an older man, but the body that most guys in their 20s would envy. He obviously worked out religiously, for all the good it did him. Hey, friend, can we talk for a second?
Are you sure there's nothing wrong with that light?
I'm no expert, but it looks fine to me.
Well, what can I do for you?
Hey, is your name Peter Fielding by any chance?
That's me. Why?
No reason. You own this joint, right?
Yes, I do. My dad built it. You could say it's a family business. Been running it around 20 years? Seems like yesterday.
So what's the story with the lights?
I don't know. It's driving me crazy. There's something wrong with them. I can tell.
Well, like I said, they look totally fine to me.
I'll just have to keep checking.
Nice place you got here.
Thanks. You looking to join?
Ah, no, I really don't think exercise is gonna do me much good.
It's amazing how many people think that. You're young. Your metabolism is still going strong. But time catches up with you before you know it.
You're preaching to the choir, Peter, but I'm still not interested.
Well, we're here if you need us.
So, how are you feeling?
Fine. Why?
You don't feel strange at all?
What do you mean?
Well, just hypothetically speaking, you don't feel like you're gonna explode?
What, like indigestion?
Not quite.
I am on a strict diet of wheatgrass shakes and fiber. Indigestion is the last thing I have to worry about.
So, you run this place with your old man, huh?
Sort of. He built it when he left the army. I took over long ago.
Ever hear of the Grace Group? I understand you went to a few meetings.
You know about that?
Sure.
Wow. Well, yeah. I went to some meetings. It was all I needed.
Why's that?
Well, I wasn't the most focused of people back then. It's a long story, but in the end, I went to work with my dad running this place. It's been my life ever since.
Hey, I think I met a friend of yours, Father Michael Cooper.
Michael? Now there's a name I haven't heard in a while. How is he?
He's seen better days.
I'm sorry to hear that. He'll pull through. He always has.
I hear Tanya Corsi went to this gym.
She's been coming here for years. That body you see on TV? I take full credit for that.
Well, we all gotta be proud of something. Do you know anything about Benjiro? Ran the Grace Group meetings.
Sure.
Well?
Funny, I can't think of anything to say exactly. It's been 20 years.
Sure, people forget things.
That's it exactly. I just didn't think it would happen to me so soon.
Did you know Jeffrey Dutta?
You know Jeff too?
Not really, I just heard of him.
Good guy. Took care of my neighbor's dog when she was on vacation.
So tell me about yourself, Peter.
I'm the guy who's gonna kick your butt into shape.
Ah, well, we'll see. Do you know Heather Goffstein?
You know Heather too. Who don't you know?
Well, I'm a people person.
Wow, Heather. Haven't heard that name in a long time.
So, you run this place with your old man, huh?
Sort of. He built it when he left the army. I took over long ago.
Well, I'll see you around.
You got it. I'll be here. I just gotta see what's wrong with this damn light.
So, I found Peter.
Peter? Peter Fielding?
Yeah, he's safe and sound, spiritually speaking anyway.
Huh. Michael was sure that Peter's ghost was taken.
Just between you and me, Michael doesn't look to be sure about very much. So, have you heard of this Tanya Corsi person?
Tanya Corsi? Was she in the gym?
No, it's the name of our roof spook. Is she famous or something?
You could say that. She has a TV show.
I think you mean she had a TV show. Let's get going.
Malone, Blackwell, a pleasure to see you both.
We found one of the Grace Group spooks, Peter Fielding.
I see. Is he still intact?
Yeah, he tried to get me to join a gym.
I thought as much.
You thought so. What do you mean?
You know as well as I do. A spirit cannot be moved from this world until it is spiritually ready. It would appear that is also the case here.
But what about George and Leah?
From my understanding, they were aware of their death when they were taken.
Yeah, they were.
Then there is your answer. They were spiritually ready to leave this world, and so were vulnerable. This Fielding, was it? He is a lucky soul indeed. Until he is made aware, he cannot be taken. Not by you, or by anyone else.
So wait, this is our fault?
Whatever do you mean?
Leah, George. Just by trying to save them, we destroyed them.
I suppose. Yes, it could be seen that way. But please do not blame yourself. How could you have known?
Ignorance doesn't change anything.
Listen to me. Whatever or whoever is taking these souls, they were marked long before they died. All we can do now is move forward and save who we can.
So what? We just leave the spook to rot?
Of course not. It has been known for some spirits to become aware on their own. The right face, the right moment, anything can trigger it. And if that happens to Fielding, no. Our duty is to save him, and save him we shall.
How? The usual rules have been chucked out the window. We make a move and he gets hammered, and we're not gonna let that happen, not again.
It is a dilemma for certain.
You've been around the block a few times, so to speak. Nothing like this has ever happened to you before?
The destruction of the very essence of life? No. Such a thing is difficult to contemplate, and to witness it, even more so.
We need to think about this, plan our next move.
Of course. In fact, I might have an idea along those lines. I must confer with my host. Please excuse me.